Beginning with the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum, YouTuber brother and sister. I am going to tell you the story about the earth because this poet theory is not strong or in reality. This is a story, not a fact. No, we start at this point when the writer or poet revealed himself that we don't know the fact, but we think that earth rotate, but it is still being implanted in the mind and heart of our generation that earth rotate around the sun. Story about earth start from this point, the dying sun, purta suraj. A few stars are known which are hardly bigger. A few star a few stars are known which are hardly bigger than the earth. But most of them are so large that hundreds of thousands of earth could be packed inside and each and leave room spare here and there. We find an immense star large enough to million and million of earth, enough to contain million and million of earth, and the total number of the star in the universe is probably something like the total number of grain of sand on all the seashore of the world. Such is the littleness of our home in space when measured up against the total number of total substance of the universe. These millions of stars are wandering about in space. A few form groups which journey in company, but most of them travel alone. And they travel through a universe so immense that it's a very, very rare event indeed for one star to come anywhere near to an other. For the most part, each star makes its voyage in complete loneliness like a ship on an empty ocean. In a scale model, in which star or ship, the average ship will be well over a million miles from its nearest buoy. From this, it is easy to understand why. Easy to understand why a star seldom find another anywhere near it. We believe, we believe that some 2000 million years ago, this rare event took place, and that another star wandering blindly through space happened to come near the sun just as the sun as the moon rise tide on the earth. So this second star must have rise tide on the surface of the sun. But they would be very different from the tide, from the little tides which the small mass of the moon rise in our ocean. An immense tidal wave must have traveled over the surface of the sun, at last forming a mountain so high that we can imagine that we can hardly imagine it as As the cause of the disturbance came near and near, the mountain would rise higher and higher, and before the second star, and before the second star came, began to move away again, his tidal pull had become so powerful that this mountain was torn into pieces and throw a small part of itself into space. These small pieces have been going around the sun ever since. They are the planet great and small, of which our Earth is one. The sun and the other star we see in the sky are all extremely for too hot for life to exist on them. So also no doubt were the pieces of the sun were the pieces of the sun when they were first thrown off. Gradually they become cooler until now they have very little heat of their own left. Their warmth coming almost entirely from the radiation which the sun poured down on them. Of time, one of these cooling pieces gave the birth to life. We don't know how, when, or why this happened. This is the main this is the main mind of the poet. The second part of the story of the earth is poet, poets think that it started in simple organization whose living power consisted chiefly in their being able to reproduce themselves before dying. But from these humble beginnings came a stream of life, which, growing over more and more complex, has in the end produced being whose lives are largely centered in their feeling, ambition, their sense of beauty, and the religion in which lie their highest hopes and noble desire. Although we cannot speak with any certainty, although we cannot speak with any certainty, it seems most likely that the human race came into existence in such a way as this, standing in on our little grain of sand. We try to discover the nature and purpose of the universe which surround our home in space and time. Our first feeling is something like fear. We find the universe frightening because of its immense distance, which we do not understand. Frightening because of the stretch of time so great that we cannot imagine them, making the whole of human history so very small in comparison, frightening because of our extreme loneliness and because of littleness of our home in space. A million parts of a grain of stand out of all the sea sand in the world. At last, don't forget to see, subscribe, and press the bell icon of my YouTube channel Pindi Boy.